Okay, g'day guys. I've got a few people online. Let me start off by saying thank you for joining me. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't, I don't know. So let me just see the volumes. Yep, the mic's there, so you should be able to hear me. Can someone just say hello? I can hear you, so I can just be comfortable with that. Well, let me just check the YouTube. That's the same way I'm going to find out if I can hear myself. There we go. Okay, hello. I hear. Thank you very much. So I can see on YouTube. They can hear me. Great. All right. So let me just start off. I have thought about this. Let me start off with I do technical analysis. My method, my strategy, obviously is shared with other people's strategy. There's a lot of confluence with that. I didn't come up with many stuff myself, but I learned it off a few people, and I'm going to share some of that today. So the people that don't have the fundamentals in chart analysis, like moving averages, Fibonacci, and so on, you might struggle to understand the language I'm speaking. Um, and my advice is to find out those elements, what they mean. So moving averages, trends, support and resistance, Fibonacci, and so on. There's a few other things and indicators. If you don't know the language and you don't know what they mean, it's going to be difficult for you to follow me on this presentation. So just want to make that clear. And the people that do have an idea, well, thanks for joining me. All right, let's start with, I suppose some people want to know what's going on right now. So this is what I have. This is what I'm thinking is going to happen. So long story short, we've had this long trend resistance. So this trend line has been a resistance for a long time, and you can say that that is, in a way, a trend line that is confluence with bump and run. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a bump and run or inverted bar strategy, and it's significant. And I'll go through what I expect or what I think is happening at the moment. So let me just do this. Big picture. Okay. Maybe I should just zoom in a bit so you guys can see the few more things more clearer. So let's zoom in with, actually I am zoomed in, okay. Let's zoom in a bit more with the browser. How's that for you? That should be making it a bit clearer, hopefully. Right. So what we do is we have a bit of Fibonacci to it. And you can see a lot of things are confluent, aren't they? So what's happened, and I'll just use this tool as well to draw on the screen. Get the pen. You can see how that became resistance. That's my reference there, and reference there with Fibonacci, and you can see Fibonacci does play a role in determining support and resistance. So you can see, these fib levels are all relevant. Key milestones. So it's no surprise for anyone. Okay. So I did say in my previous presentation that on one of my videos that this is 1, 2, 3, something like a wedge and the breakdown when he reached that spot there. So it's pretty accurate on that one. I've got that one right. And now looking for a reversal. So now I've got this small reference point, this fib level. So the top's 0, the bottom's 1. Now with this impulse, I'm looking for the 0.32 or the 0.5. This is a definite spot to jump in. I don't think we'll go down that low. I think this is the lowest we can go to this fib level, which is a 0.5, as you can see. So I'm ready to jump in here, but let's zoom in and explain why. So what we had was, let me just get rid of this. Add, where are we? MACD or the RSI, just to make things easier. People can understand what the indicators are telling us. You can see that as price went up, we're getting MACD coming down, aren't we? So it was inevitable. So I'm using my method of counting like 3 impulses, and then if we break that trend line, we will get to go down because we were pretty much having a bearish divergence in play, and RSI is pretty much the same. So it wasn't difficult to know that once they break this trend line, this support trend line, that it was going to come down. Now the question is, how far is it going to come down? And let's have a good look here. So let's, oops, I want to do this. What I'll do is I want to hide some of these lines, not these ones here. So I'll keep that there, keep that there. I'm not doing a good job, am I? Trying to hide these lines. Let me see which line is that. Okay, hold on. I don't want these lines here. Okay, that's these ones, these two. Okay. So I see that as resistance, and we had that line broken. And where's the other final one? That one there. All right. So we can get rid of that as well. So what we're having is we've drawn out the fib lines pretty clearly. And I'll just make it clear for there. So the analysis is that price is coming down, and we're likely to get a bounce here. And you can see that on the 4 hour we've got a bullish candle. So I've already entered this area. With my channel, I pretty much told people that I'm buying in, and I expect it to go up to this fib level potentially. It might just keep going, but I'm going to explain a few things why I think there's going to be resistance coming down here. So we might go there and come down, and I'm going to explain why in the bigger picture of things. But at this point, this is an entry for me. And my anticipation is that we will find resistance somewhere in this pocket. And so when we find that resistance, we'll probably come down again. It might do a double bottom and then come back up. And that's fine, because what we said in the past is that this is a major resistance. And I did say that the initial attempt right here will be a rejection. We might get another attempt, second attempt on that trend line. But I don't think that's the trend line that's going to be rejecting. I think there's a line that's coming down here. That's going to be the main one. That's going to be the rejection. And I'll explain why. And the method is that we're going to have a consolidation. It could be, so if that's our A, B, C, D, E, and then maybe an ascending triangle or wedge or some sort, we're going to have some build up here to break this, what do you call it, 42,000 area. And I said that in my previous streams, that I think that this area is going to be a fair bit of resistance. Now here's the other thing, the major one that not many people are talking about, and I think this is the reason. So we have Fibonacci's as resistance, and we have trend lines as a resistance. So we've got this point there, we've got this point, and if you bring that across, it has confluence with the Fib level as well. Okay. Now, if anyone's familiar with the bump and run, they'll know what that means. So that is my trend line. And if you watch the icon, if you've seen the icon on this stream, it was a bump and run. So I think it was this one here. Give me a sec. This picture here. You'll see it. Give me a sec. Yep, that. Okay. So what you see here is pretty much something similar to what we have. 2 points. Third point, we had a rejection. Price pulls back. And then, now we're going to talk about this level. I think it could be rejected twice, but the third time it can break through it. Maybe the second time it will break through it. And then we have what's called a throwback, comes back down, touches this trend line, finds support, and then up it goes. All right. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of the strategy. And so let's go back to my chart. And I'm going to give you an example here and there where this bump and run strategy works. So either it's going to bounce from here and try and make an attempt on this trend line and maybe get rejected. And if it gets rejected, it will go down deeper. So it won't be the 0.32 that will hold. It'll come back down more because first rejection, second rejection usually pushes it down. And that's why I'm thinking it might be a wedge. And then up it goes. So this area is still of interest to me. If it's a second attempt, it might break through it. And then we have the throwback, potential of throwback, and then touch. This throwback is going to be very rough. It's going to try to break through this a few times. Like it's going to, I think anyway, and then it's going to go up. If it goes past this 0.618 decisively, then you might bounce and retest this 0.618 rather than this trend line and then go up. Now I'm going to give you examples historically where that's taken place. Bitcoin is well known for doing it. And it's because of this bump and run strategy, I've started to understand trading a bit better. Okay, so let's go somewhere where it was significant. And I remember this where I really, it really clicked on for me. So let's see, where is it? If you be patient, I'll explain it. So here was that's not the one, is it? Give it a sec. Yeah, this was it. So the COVID time, I made a good call, knowing the bump and run strategy. And what we did, hopefully I got so what happens is things change with the log settings and the non-log settings. So I can't recollect exactly, but I did. Let me just stretch this out. I've got on the 4 hour and I'm going to test this. Is it this one here? I'm not sure. That was what? No, that wasn't it. Was it? Give me a sec. Okay, that's one. All right. So with the log, so I recollect, and I couldn't figure out why. Like when I was watching this area, I was adamant that it was going to break through. I'm going, it's trying to get through it, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized this strategy, this trend line was major, and the evidence is there, right? So let's just put that there for that leading trend line was a cause for this to be pushed back. The first touch, rejection. Second touch, rejection. and then third decisively, and you can see the retest, and then back up. So this explains exactly what I'm talking about, potentially happening to. I'm not saying this was really a battle to get through. So here's that was a good example, right? Which the trend line becomes significant, and you can apply this to many other areas. So here's another one. Let's go back here. Let's go. This is a classic one, I think. This is a different version of it. Where it didn't do the retest. Let me see if it's a log or the non-log. So this was a bit different. So we had, see how that gets, so we can have log and non-log, and it becomes very different, doesn't it? So in this case, price had a response to this trend line, and then it broke through, and it broke down, and then retest and went back up. You can see how clear you can have different versions of price playing. Come on, I'm clicking on it and it's not responding. So you can see how that trend line had a play there. Now, if I was to get rid of that and look at it from a different perspective with the non-log, that is a decisive breakthrough, right? There was no really play there. So this one with the non-log system is the one I'm looking at. So that's an example I'm looking at. Now, and the final one, I think this was the big one. Let me see if this is the big one. Let's see. So there was no resistance. However, you can see the throwback tested that trend line and then went up. Okay, so this trend line becomes, you can see how it's played out a lot for a lot of the bottoms. A lot of bottoms, trend line gets tested, throwback, and then up. So once it gets past that, it gets retested, it goes. Obviously, they have their own targets. So in this case, the target here, you can play with this line as much as you want, but you can see how, in some cases, where it touches, if I was to make a touch there, so I'm actually looking at a different perspective. Get rid of the log, I think that was it. You can see how it's touching that area, and that becomes the previous target there. So if that's it's very hard to measure it, because along here it could be anywhere the target. So when we have this motion, you can see that this area became the target. Okay. Similarly, if I was to do this, if I extend this line, it's not perfect, but if that was it there, you can see it's almost retracing. So if we started here, it's also becomes the target for resistance. So that's what I picked up in the past. All right, so now we're going back to today. It's the same thing. We're going to have a bit of a resistance here with this strategy. And so we had the initial resistance here, which also happened to be the 0.618. So it's a strong resistance along with this trend line. So we're having this bump and run thing working out. And if it bounces, we might get a rejection, might hit there and then pull back on this 0.618, get the retest, and maybe a consolidation above and between this, and then go up. So in my opinion, the retest is, if it breaks this trend line, this area is a real nice area to go long. Yep. And that, to me, that is confirmation. Here, I'm looking this area here. So if it's the read pushback, I think that could be an area for interest to go back. And but say you're going to take the risk of missing out. If it breaks through, then you're going to miss out buying. So it's not an easy decision. That's why you're going to make up your mind. If you buy here and it pulls back, maybe you just hold on to it, and it might go lower before you go back up. If that makes sense. There's a lot of scribbling there, but I'm not sure if it's clear to you guys. But that's basically what I'm looking at. So if I was to, let's see, where am I now? Get rid of all these warnings. Yep. Here we go. So I had that previous, these lines. Let's go. So that's why I have a potential wedge. This line could in the short term play resistance. I'm not saying it's going to, but it might. And it will fulfill the ABC strategy of mine. So if it's A, B, C, D, and if it and so it's either going to come around roughly around there, double bottom, and then it goes up. It's possible, or it's just going to go straight up and try to touch it. So it could go straight up as well. So not sure. So there's two possibilities, and then there's the scenario of the rejection, which will bring it down here from there, potentially coming down to this 0.5 area, which has a lot of confluence. I don't think it will come down to this level. So that's my thinking at the moment in terms of Bitcoin and what's happening at the moment. Any questions? All good? Everyone understands? Now let's move on to the next thing. Here's another thing that came up today that we need to look at. Give us a sec. Let me add this. I'm going to go into the weekly chart. I'll probably get rid of the log. Okay, we've got the logs there. Right, we'll probably want to get rid of these lines on the weekly anyway. So if people haven't seen this before, we can do this. Actually, this way. Swing low to swing high. And we will reverse this and put the 1.618 and the defaults. And I'll put the fib. And you can see how the 1.618 becomes a major resistance. Yep. And you can see how these fib levels also have confluence with key levels, don't they? So that's my swing high to swing low reference point, 0, 1. And you can see why we had a major resistance there. And moving forward, this is one of my thoughts in terms of getting the target. Now let's see if I can do this. So there's a few assumptions going to be made. So we've got the weekly chart here. So I'm going to put the weekly resistance there. So what I'll do is put the magnet and it gets to the body of the candle. So I'm going to say that's my weekly resistance, or weekly support actually. It's weekly support, but on the way up, it's weekly resistance. So I'll leave it at that. So that makes sense. Then we have the other one, Yep. So one of these two are going to play a role on the way up. That's my thinking. We're not going to be sure until the time comes. So let's just put those lines in there, and I'll just get rid of some of this stuff. And you can see here, that was our weekly support, and we ever so slightly came down below it, you know, from a weekly perspective. So this was a bit scary, but we use these wicks, all these wicks, as an area of demand, because when price came up and came down, this was an area of demand. So historically, it was proven on the way up, and then on the way down, the same. So a lot of people were imminent that this was going to be the same, because the RSI pretty much showed us that this was, there's a few other stuff that showed us that this was oversold, especially on-chain data, that this was an oversold area. So now what we're looking at on the weekly is we just broke the 50% right there. So you can see how the 50% level, which is there, this right there, we just broke above it and came down. So that's a good sign, but it's not confirmation. So what we want to see is this go back up. So this trend line that I was talking about, let's push this down. So note the 50% on the RSI, which is the major obstacle for us. That will have confluence with this trend line. That 50% will be this trend line that's acting as resistance. So that will be now equivalent area, this one here, right there. That's the knockback. So again, with the RSI, it shows you 100% that trend line is significant, because it correlates to the RSI 50%. So in terms of what RSI 50% means, is change in trend. So if we break this trend, the RSI is also above 50% and it will go up. So that's confirmation as well. So the indicators also tells us that this level is important, if that makes sense. So for the ones that want to play it safe, I would say, let's go to the daily. If you want to play it safe, I would wait for you to break this 0.618 to go long. For the people like me, I'm buying here. Yep. So if it goes up, comes back down, I'll buy more here. If it comes down lower to this level here, and this will be my last area to go leverage and then go up. So I've got to see what happens here along this line. I like to see, so I'm buying in and leveraging a bit. And if it breaks through it and comes back down, breaks through, hits at 0.618, which is going to be a double top, most likely. It'll come back down, touch this trend line, and that's my signal to go long and leverage. So that's my strategy for the time being. There's a few combinations, and you have a think about it. So if it makes sense, that's pretty much it when it comes to Bitcoin. Now, in terms of, I was going to show the moving averages, what the resistance is on the way up. So it's not going to be just a clean, straight up break all the resistance levels. There's going to be resistance along the way. So what do I expect? So you can see how I did the resistance lines for the weekly. So this zone, so we had support here. So when price came down, support, and then down. So this is going to be resistance, 100%. So this weekly has confluence. This one here on the way down, see that wick? It did play. So it came down and it did touch this level and it went up. So that's another weekly resistance level. So these two areas are going to play some role. So what do we expect? Um, Assuming that this area is dealt with and we're moving up, this next one is going to be 45k. Could find a rejection. If we break it, then we will use our support. But I think this level here, 49, 50,000 is going to be resistance. This to me, this area. So let me do the daily. This one here as well. This box is going to be a strong resistance area in my opinion, and I think it's going to come down. Okay. Now, how far would it come down? I don't know, but I think that's what's going to play out. If once we break it, I think it's this bullish is so we're going to have that 1, 2, 3, and then a pullback, and it's likely if that's and you know if I think the 0.382 fib level is probably the one that's going to be rejecting, and let's have a look how the Fibonacci extension works with that. Okay, so if I get the Fib extension, click that to bottom. So let's do it again. Okay, it's working. So I click there, and if that's our bottom, you can see. So I'm making an assumption that you guys understand how to use Fib extensions. So if I was to get rid of that, okay, let's do this. But there's a lot of lines. I don't want you to get confused. Okay, that one's there. Bring it up there for a sec. I want to hide that. So let's do that again. All these trend lines. No, I don't want that. And I can group these. Where's the other one? Okay. All right. So if I was to do the Fib extension, the bottom is my reference. That's my current resistance. Now, if I was to pull this back, if that's the spot, you can see how the Fib extension 1 is right in that range. Okay. If this was to go lower, if this was to go come back down around here, then you can see 1 is still hitting the weekly resistance. So it's making a good case where this, it might even, so if it comes down to here, then we have this range pretty much acting as strong resistance. So it confirms that the Fib extension even gives you that confirmation that that's going to be a strong resistance area. So once we have that, if it's really bullish, the 1.618, yeah. So I don't see it coming all the way there, but if it does, great. I think it's going to come down, and what we're going to have is our major A, B, C, D, and potentially up. So if we were to break this, I think this is going to be the major resistance level, and we can potentially have this big triangle formation trying to break through it. That makes sense, and along here could be, because this is an area of confluence of resistance, or current resistance area, so it could act as support. Once it hits this area, it could come back down, and this could be support, and you can see that it's potentially going to break this level, and then up it goes. That's one scenario. Okay, so give me a sec. So the fib levels, weekly resistance. This is obviously a bullish stance. I am bullish, so I'm looking at the possible scenarios of it going up, and these are the possible scenarios. I'm going to see a lot of resistance here, just pretty much that area there, and it makes sense to me. So if I was to get rid of this, put my fib level back in. Was that the one? No, that's not the one. Where is he? This one here. So the 0.382, even the 0.5 could be resistance. And if it gets knocked back by the 0.5, then that's not good. It's like a dead cat bounce in a way. So, but yeah, 490 to 50k is the 0.382 is my area of resistance, and I think that's going to play out once price gets there, breaking this. So, breaking this, and then throw it back, retest that, and then up it goes. And you can see that this might be a consolidation area as well of some formation, because this is a resistance area, wick there. So this area is one layer of resistance, and so we're going to consolidate with the complexity of this trend line. And as I said, if it has a decisive breakthrough, it'll come back, retest, and then back up. So if that makes sense, and then we have to deal with this layer. Okay, so yeah, 407 to 490 is resistance. Yep, that's what I'm saying. All right, now there was a picture. Give me a sec. Let me just bring it out. Someone actually put something similar to it on the internet, and I agree with it. So I'll show you what they did. Give us a sec. I can pick it out. Here we go. So that's there. If I can zoom in. Yep. So someone's done that. So they see that as a similar. So that's pretty similar to mine with my justification. So his one's, yeah, could be pretty high, but he's got this fib extension and the fifth wave. So basically what we're saying here is that, I'm not the one that's coming up with these. I'm listening to some of the mentors that I follow. And if I was to look at this, so, we're talking about this early stage of trading. And if we look at from a Elliott wave perspective, so that's our 1, that's our 2, that's our 3. I think this is pretty much done. Number 4, and then our 5th wave. Okay. Now, how do we do the 5th wave? Is like an interesting spot. So if I was to do fib extension from there to there to there, you can see. So I'm doing the fib extension method. So 1 is, let me just put it there. That's fib extension 1. I'm not going to go explain why that's the target. And 1.618 is the maximum, I think, for this wave 5. So this box, in my opinion, so if I get that, look at the coordinates. Okay, let me just make it round number. I didn't want to do that. Uh, 89,700. Is that actually, you know what? We can put the values on these fibs. Price, here we go. They'll probably make it easier. And if I move that across, so yeah. So anyway, in here is going to be our target, really. So using the extension method, like we've already proven, number one, let's go back to the weekly. We've already proven that that this chart is actually obeying the fibs. So we've already concluded that these fibs are playing a key role. So let me just get rid of these. Logic says that if this chart is already, because it's price, so my comments are, when you do new price discovery, the only thing that's going to really help people is fib extensions, all right? So fib extensions are going to, in this case, it did that job. So you can see with new price discovery, when you hit that level, 414, it did a good pullback. When you hit the 1.618, it did a good pullback, and then it tried to break it, and we had a slightly over performance, and then back down. So if the charts makes all sense with fib levels, then why won't we continue doing that? That's the thing. So like in here, right? Like historically, from here to the top, you can see, I'll reverse that. In the previous, see, look at the 1.618. So it's so when price came back from the bear market, it hit the the 0.618 and came back down. So the golden ratio is always going to come into play. All right. So if we have the golden ratio as a key aspect of any chart, especially Bitcoin, then what we do is now go to the next one. So let's move, and this is the next one I want to make point on. Give me a sec. Bear with me, guys. I think this is the one. Let's see, index is, which one's the index? No. Coinbase, no. Okay, this is the index chart for Bitcoin. All right. Now what I'm going to do is add, what is it called? What was it called? Just a sec. My memory is not the best. Multiply, that's right. Ratio. Golden, I think this is the one. One of the guys did it. I don't know if it's this one. Is that one? Yep. Okay, there you go. So this moving average is all about the golden ratio multiplier. And so far, we can agree that comes here, golden ratio moving average, again around here, around there. Here gets it right. Here's our overperformance, and then drops. Now we can see how it's having a resistance there as well. So this golden, maybe just suggesting that this might, besides using my method, which was the fib extension, which was from there to the bottom, that the 1.618, that level to that level, also agrees with this line. And if this is the one, so anything in between also agrees with this golden ratio multiplier. So this is another reason why I'm thinking that it will do the job. The last one is you can't use the straight line method. I don't think this works, because it's not, when we come to charts, it's not straight lines. So some people do it. I don't think that's the case. I think this moving average along the using the 0.618 numeric number, or what they call it is the golden ratio multiplier. So they use moving averages. So here's an article if you want to look at it. Okay, so I might just, I'll put it in the comments field, and you can have a look. Okay, so there you go. If you want to read it, that's where it is there in the commentary. All right. So that gives me another reason why I'm sort of thinking I'm on target with the target on this macro move. Okay. So that's pretty much what I got for Bitcoin. I think I've covered enough, and we can see that why we're bullish and where the key levels are, key milestones. And there you go. So short term, let's just get past this line here. We want to get past this line for the short term. If we can't get past this line at all this is irrelevant. Okay. Now, all right, let's see. I think Ethereum just formed a beautiful symmetrical pattern, and I caught the, okay, bugger. Let's look at that. Okay. So this is Ethereum Bitcoin. I think I bought enough Ethereum as it is. Let me have a quick look. What's Ethereum doing? I don't want to miss out either. Oh, good move. Yeah, so I did buy Ethereum, but should I buy more? I think I've done enough. That's a good move. So that tells me that Bitcoin's going to move up as well. I don't know why I got VET there. So that's stupid. Yeah, Ethereum's the way to go. Why? So here we go. Where's my Ethereum chart? So this is my Ethereum chart. I'll go over that now. Just give me a sec while I look at what Bitcoin's doing. Short term. 1 hour. Let's see what it's doing. That doesn't help. Got to get rid of this. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. So that's moving. And I was right. Hopefully that goes up to that level. So I think this is going to go, like I said. So we've pretty much broken that. Where's my Bitcoin chart? Is my Bitcoin chart? Yep, there you go. Okay, so that's what we're looking at now. We want to see that break. So what we've seen is that it broke. You see how I use my how I use these RSIs and other indicators for the buy and indicate. So this one was pretty much a breakout. So that once it broke that, you can see how it just goes up. All right, let me see what I'm. I did buy. There you go. Oh, against Bitcoin, flying. Woohoo. What Luna doing? Give us a look at Luna. Link. Okay, Link is still finding resistance there. Alice is going. I think they're all flying now. But Ethereum's just gone. Yeah, Ethereum's just gone really nice here. So Ethereum is just, oh, okay, you obeyed this trend line. So it did. That was working. Cool. So if you got Ethereum and Bitcoin, so I have more Ethereum than Bitcoin, really. So this is my macro chart. So ADA's dropping against Ethereum though. That's not good. So what I want to do is just close this. Just bear with me, guys, while I look at my orders and see if they've filled. If not, I better buy some. Got any open orders left? I haven't got much money left. Ooh. How far out? Come on. I don't have much money left. Okay. Okay, so, all right. Just now I can continue on. All good. Actually, one more. Where is it? Come on. What I want to do is buy some of these alts that are pending to break out. All right. Okay, so let's look at, let me see where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we go. We'll see if there are any comments. No, we are preparing to short. No, we are preparing to short. We are buying now. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, let's look at Ethereum and pairing. So let me talk about my Ethereum pairing. I had this chart a while ago. Actually, maybe I should get the weekly out first. Give me a sec. The weekly is this one here. So let me just move that to the right, and then make this big. Actually, that's not the right chart. Oh, where's this one here? Yeah, that's the one. Wrong chart. Here's why we are bullish on Ethereum. I've done a few charts before, but using the same method. Okay, so this is a weekly chart, and if I was to get my Fibonacci out, actually maybe just do the top. Would the top be right? Or this one here? Yep. So you can see how that respected that, right? So that's my reference to the bottom. Okay, and you can see this was the left shoulder, this is the head, and complex right shoulder. So we've broken this, and we hit the target, 0.618. I think if I was to get this, that doesn't do it. That doesn't do it. So that doesn't measure but the fib extension does. So now if we were to, I'm just curious. So if I was to do from there to there, yep, 2.618. So another golden ratio. So the golden ratio and the 1.618 was doing the support. So anyway, looking at this chart, this actually played. So you can see this actually played a bit of a lead in as well. Well, got it so thick. I don't know why I got so thick. So what my thinking is, this head and shoulders. Now we're going to look at this little section here. So what it's done is it's retested this trend line. Yep, it's retested this trend line, which had a lot of resistance points along the way. And now, once we got the decisive break, it's become support along with this 0.382. So very strong area. And if we were to go onto the daily in that area, pretty much a descending, usually such formations are more likely to break down. But what we had was this breakout on the daily for Ethereum against Bitcoin. That's why we're bullish. So what do I see going from here? Well, there's a few ways of doing that. So I can use the previous all-time high. Come on, bloody how much times have I click on it? So this could be the target as well. This level here. Initially, we'll find resistance at this, there, and there, but I think we'll continue on to the upside. And what can we use? We'll use a fib extension from swing low, swing high to swing low. So let me get rid of this. Okay, so I think the next milestone is there, which probably has confluence with this area here. Close enough. So let's see if I did right. Cool. That's better. So now it's the 1.618. So it can, I think it will go all the way up. And if I was to use the height of this to the breakout, so that red line is the current target, the immediate target based on the structure, and the performance is that fib level there using this fib extension method. And then we'll see how we go from then on. So that's going to be a major resistance. Now let's look at there was another chart that will help us with the dominance. There we go. Here. So what we have, this is not Bitcoin dominance, it's all the others. And what we had is the alts. So this is basically about the alts. If I can not spend too much time on it, let me see if I can get rid of this. So you can see here we had inverse head and shoulders, and we hit the target, which is this blue section. So from there to the breakout, we've actually hit the target, and then we pull back. Now, from a bigger perspective, this is actually left shoulder to be the head and the right shoulder. And based on that, I had this level of, so I see this going up. Okay, where's it going to go? I've got no idea. I can have a guess, but so if we lose this level, obviously the alts are going to drop. But what's strange is that this neckline that's been resistance for such a long time, resistance, 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 we break it decisively, get to a point, come back, and this neckline is going to be support. And now alt season, yeah. So how do you know it's alt season? Let's look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. How does that align with it? Where are we? That one. Here we go. Bitcoin dominance. So if I just get in a bit closer, well, I don't know why it's so light, the candlesticks, but it doesn't make sense. So if I was to just get rid of that. So what we have is this formation, really. It's one possible formation, and the other one is this one here. So give me a sec, and I'll show you another possible way. You can also say that this is a wedge, a big Why is it so light? I got no idea, but you can say this is a bear flag, right? And what's happened? We've broken. So this is the Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance is going down. So this is a bear flag that's just broken. So now this is likely to potentially do a double bottom. Let's have a look at that in the bigger picture. There you go. So that aligns with, what did I say, with the other chart, the others. So if this is suggesting the alt's going to go up, this is suggesting Bitcoin dominance is going to go down. I think that's 100% agreement. Yeah? I can't see any other way of giving this information, but we're pretty much the alt season is about to kick. When I was wondering when was the alt season going to kick, I said this line: when this breaks, I'll be jumping in, and you can see that actually retested it up to a point. So they're right there, it retested it, and now it's going down. So this is a 4-hourly chart, ever so lightly. Maybe there might be a case where it reaches, I don't know, maybe this level here, where it might bounce up again, and then keep going down. So be careful. Yeah, we've got to. Oh, I think you should always keep an eye on this chart when you're trading. So Ethereum is pretty much doing the same. Alt season's kicked in, therefore Ethereum, based on this thing, is going up against Bitcoin. We have an agreement there. What about dominance BTC alts? Well, that is it. Dominance alts against BTC. This is it. This is showing that the alts are going up, and this level is ever so important. This neckline. So that is your alts against BTC or BTC dominance chart. Okay, no, we're going short. No shorts. Actually, the only place you can short, in my opinion, where are we? Yeah, when we get to that target. Where is that chart I had before? Yeah, this one. So okay, I know it's one on the chart, but where's my chart? Oh, this is that quick. Or is this? This is the one. Sorry, I did flip around, didn't I? So which one was it? One of these. That one. So we're going to short. I'll tell you a short, man. That level that I was talking about somewhere there, but this is not the chart, is it? Where is that chart on? Come on. We did some. This thing's pretty quick, don't I? So here you go, all these different exchanges. Oh, that's the one. There you go. Which one was it on? It was on Gemini. Happy Gemini. No wonder. So this blue area is short. If it gets to that level, I will definitely look at shorting. And I'll put my risk there. So my shorting will be up to that. So that's about 20% short to play it safe. So that's 618 at least. So that's 16, 17% short. If I was to short, that'll be the area. Or sell. Okay. Any questions, guys? So I've covered Bitcoin. I've covered Ethereum, not Ethereum against Bitcoin. Ethereum itself. Here we go, Ethereum itself. So if I was to close that, why I got quantum there, I got no idea. That's not the chart. I'm going to close that because I know I had Ethereum chart somewhere. Loaded Ethereum. I had a comprehensive Ethereum chart. Got the one. Okay, that's a lot of scribble there, isn't there? That was probably my last presentation. Okay, so okay, all that mess, what I'll do is I'll get rid of moving averages, and so it didn't quite work there. Let's see, hide, get rid of the log, okay. Don't want that. So smaller picture, details. So basically, this was an ending wedge, and we had this breakout. So I don't need the Fibonacci's there. I don't need the Fibonacci's there. You can see how that was my initial chart. I think I presented that in the previous stream. So based on this structure, which is top A, B, C, D, E. You can see that. So what I'll measure is for the structures target from B to A. So I think that's A there. And I'll get that, and I'll look for the breakout area, and that's pretty much it. So B is the target, which is about, yeah, I remember saying about 3,100 to 3,200 is what I was looking at for the short-term target, local target. And if you look at this chart, if I move put the 10 to 20 moving average, so the 6 hour, maybe the 8 hours better. 8 hour chart, yeah. So you can see the 8 hour moving average, now 10 20 moving average is the line used to trade. Yeah, we have a bit of actually convergence with the MACD. I can get rid of this. So that is a nice way of trading this for the pullbacks. So if I was to maximize this, if you're looking for opportunities on this trend line, well, that was it there. It wasn't the best, to tell the truth. So if I was to do that, pullback wasn't the best. Reverse that one. So from there to there, if we use that, yeah, okay, 0.382 along the 20 moving average, that was okay. That's interest. But the thing is, this bullish candle, so it wasn't the best pullback. So it's a bit ugly, I've got to admit. And this was much better because you have a slow descent into, not a dump, but a slow descent into moving average. So yeah, if I was you, hold Ethereum, don't let go of it. The target's a fair bit. Now we can, let's see, I'm going to save this, give me a second, I'll do something, just make it easier. Clean all that up. Just a bit messy, right? So we had this episode, you can call it, I don't know if you want to call it a wedge. That was pretty, to me, that was a formation. To me, that's the top. And if we use the bottom, right to the bottom, I'm going to use that as the target from the breakout. Okay, so that's the maximum I think it can go to, 3,300 and something. Now if I use the fib level, from there to there, so 1.272 was a, yeah, people who are familiar with that, that was the first target. I'm just doing that. So this goes beyond 1.6. So yeah, so this starts. So give me a sec. I'll just make sure I get my count right. No, so that's A, B. No. I'm mixing it up here. Give me a sec. That's A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So my B from that height to my C, yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I apply that to the breakout area, slightly a bit lower. So if I was to add that, what would it be? Closer to fibonacci, which is possible. But the immediate resistance, I think it might just break through it quickly. But this definitely, this level here is 2,900. actually about 2,900 and something is very close to the 1.68. So from a fib extension perspective and looking at the previous resistance levels, notwithstanding this, I want you, the secondary target is that. I think that's the secondary target. This is the major resistance, the 1618, because we've had it here, this level here, where it was, you got it here many times before as resistance. There, and there. So this is going to hit this target and then probably pull back, maybe hit that second target. But we've got to watch what Bitcoin does at the same time. Okay, so that's my outlook on Ethereum at the moment. So we can agree that Ethereum's going to raise hell, and so if we split this, that's my Matic or Mana. So Mana wasn't the best. Come on, bloody hell! Which one did I click it? So it hasn't broken through yet. Look at that. It's crap. Mana's not the best, but it's holding that area, so it's going to explode. Sorry guys, but I don't know where I'm getting these logs from. Sorry, give me a sec. So yeah, I'll move that line, and the alert went off. So Mana, it's got this formation, and it's looking to break out. So I think it will be a strong, that might be the best breakout, but I think that's what's going to happen there. Anyway, let's go Ethereum, BTC. Let's see what I remember having it here as well. Oh, I've done a lot of explaining, didn't clean it up. Okay, never mind. So that's what I got for Ethereum. All right, one of my favorites. So Kava is breaking out nicely, and had that line, and it's breaking out nicely. So it should go back up to this here level. So Kava's breaking to this level as a first its target, and maybe there. And we've got the crossover of the MACD, beautiful. So I'm also starting to go. I'm like, I might better start trading. Oh, no sound. Okay, I was seeing that alert. Okay, I can hear right. So there's. So one of my I'm going to watch this one here. EGLD. So it's broken this level. So to me, this is a clean chart. Very clean. And it's done the formation, but it's not breaking up strong at the moment. However, let's see what it's done so far. Okay, 58% is pretty good. So this is a good one. That's nice and clean. It's got nice formation. Luna is the one that I bought, and I was looking to buy more, but so my Luna chart is very detailed. So from the bottom of 2020 September to where Luna hit the top, 7,700%. Yeah, this is on YouTube as well. Yeah, so YouTube, if you want to follow YouTube, this is a link. With TradingView, you can stream to both TradingView and YouTube at the same time. So it's there. So I was studying this, and I was just trying to find out, trying to understand parabolic moves. So I got these phases, and this was a parabolic move, as you can see, all the way to the top. And then I got this lunar pullback. So it was a nice pullback, and it's a very strong move. Very surprising. I bought it. So you can see this trend line in a different way, and you can see how similar to it touched the trend line, this leading trend line, and up it went. Now I'm looking at potentially, I was expecting this to be pulling back. So if it doesn't pull back, so be it. I'm just keeping an eye on this. So I'm thinking this line here has confluence. Maybe I have to lift this up a bit higher. I don't know. Maybe that's it there. It's very hard to work out this top level. So I'm thinking if price was to pull back here, oops, Luna is going really strong. If price was to pull back here, I'll definitely buy in that spot. But it might not come. So I'm just going to hold on to what I've got. But Luna, compared to the others, it's done really well. So from here to the bottom to the top, it's done 161%. With the other also done 50 or 60%. Luna's done much more. So if we were to split this and look at Luna against Bitcoin, you can see it's a pretty much it's hit up, so it's top now. Oh, just a sec. Look how it's performed against Bitcoin. Against Bitcoin, it's gone up 172% with that pullback. So Luna is really nice. I don't know what to think of. Let me have a look at the bigger picture against Bitcoin. I'll have on that one. Oh, I've done something there. Oh, hey, that's it. It's all price discovery. It's all new, isn't it? So this is going to be interesting how to work it out. Hold on, what do I have here? Okay, so I put the top as 1. So I have Luna going to, if I was to guess, once it breaks this level, that's the next. That's where it's going. I got no way of measuring. There's no formation really. So that's a cup formation. Let's get rid of the moving averages. It's an odd shape, so it's not going to be easy to figure it out. So I had the main target here, and that just blew that away, so I could get rid of that. And obviously the top, and it's broken actually. So this one here, well, you can say that right at the tip, that's it there. So I might as well put that there. Yeah, that makes sense. 0.618, you can see how you got at the 0.618, you got pulled back. So how do we work this out? I've got no idea if this was it. Maybe that's a target. So that level, okay, so it's close to the 1.618. So maybe that is the target there, which is another 58% against Bitcoin. Maybe that's when Bitcoin pulls back, hitting the 50K. You want to see, that's what I had this area as resistance, and it's probably likely to consolidate here, I would think. You would think so, wouldn't you? Consolidate here before it breaks up. Maybe do a ever so type of triangle type of thing before it breaks up. So I think there will be a breakout trade opportunity there. So there's a bit of resistance. Now what's Bitcoin doing at the moment? Okay. So Bitcoin's holding. There we go, baby. I think it's going to go up. So if that's going, and this the odds are just a bit paused, aren't they? So that's a bullish candle on the daily. You can see that, right? So that's if that finishes somewhere 10 hours, but if that engulfs that, actually let's fix that up a bit. That line, get rid of the log. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. How this is going to play out. This line is the one I'm looking at. Really like to see how my theory goes. Maybe the second touch, you just probably break through. The way, just probably break through straight away. And I don't know, but because this has been very bullish, so anyway, it's not easy to figure out. I think a bit of FOMOs will come back in and push this up easy. just so I did say, yeah, I'm right. I said 4 candles, 4 daily candles before a green. What a flick! I was right. So you can check that on my previous stream. I did say 4 daily candles, and that's yeah. Sometimes I'm freaking myself out. Sometimes how things work out. Knowing or guessing versus implementation is the hard part. So I really want to leverage high, but where can I leverage high? This would be the perfect spot, which I have. I didn't leverage high with a lot of money. So I'm looking for my next leverage high, which is, so if I was to leverage here with 32% gain, I'll say 30% gain. Yeah, I just got to be careful because the wild's going to probably know that and push it down. Maybe to this level here, as I said. It's ever so hard to figure out what to do when it comes to leverage. All right, I've covered Bitcoin. I've covered Ethereum. I just did Luna. ADA, where's ADA? So ADA Ethereum. Let's look at that. There is ADA Ethereum. Oh, there you go. It's back down again. I knew it. So you can see how that the 0.68 when I did the reference from this top. Where is it? Green. Anyway, doesn't matter how I do it. So now I find support there. So this is, but on the weekly, you can see ADA's going to drop against Ethereum. So if you're thinking about having a lot of ADA, I think you should have more Ethereum than ADA at this point. If that gives you, so look at this. On the weekly, we have pretty much downward descent, downward, and until it gets down there. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but I think it will come down here. So a double bottom before it might go up. So we might have 1, 2, 3 up. That's possible. ADA, so ADA will have its time a bit later. So maybe Ethereum's done its run and then it's ADA's turn. So yeah, you got to be careful how you, well, not careful, but just use a strategy. So if I look at that, if we lose this spot there, therefore it's going to come down for sure. It's going to come down all the way from this. So if we lose this level here, that is definitely going to come down for another bounce. And so that's a bit of, you know, when you don't need to. I stuffed up. I should have got rid of more. That's 4%. Okay. I should have sold there. 10%. It's not that much. So yeah, I did move some of my ADA to Ethereum, but maybe I should have moved all of it. I mean, it's going to be, it's a bit of hard work to figure out which one is a flip again. So anyway, I should have done it. Should have done this. Should have done that. All right. It's how long I've been online. I've been online for, doesn't tell you, does it? What is it, 10? Okay, 1.5 hours. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, guys, and focus on trading again. So if you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, hopefully this has been useful and handy to you. You can replay it on YouTube. Give me a like, share this. Appreciate it. And if you want to join my channel, it's under my signature on Telegram. You can join where I keep constant people updated. And hopefully one day we can be a community. All right. Anyway, leave it at that. I'm going to have some tea and take a break, watch some TV, and then look at the charts. All right. Cheers. Bye.